This is Earth. And before we leave this planet, we need to remember what we're leaving behind. Forests that breathe with the turning of the seasons, oceans in constant motion, mountains slowly worn down over millions of years. And in the midst of all this, us. Roads choked with traffic, trains and subways carrying people to work, to school, home, cities that never truly sleep, lit by a million small human stories. Down here, every day feels noisy and full. Problems seem enormous, urgent, impossible to ignore. But above all this noise, there is something else, a sky that has watched in silence for billions of years. Today we'll leave the surface behind and follow our gaze upward. From the life we know to the quiet layers of the sky. Let our journey begin. This is Parallax's first mission, a silent observatory designed to travel far and watch the universe up close. Its hull protects us from what out there would be lethal, the vacuum, the radiation, the extreme temperatures, and the tiny fragments of rock or metal that, at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, can become invisible bullets. Far from Earth's surface, the environment is no longer our ally. There is no air to breathe, no pressure to hold our liquids, our oceans in place, no sound that can travel. But aboard Parallax, we can move through these hostile layers and turn them into a window through which to watch the Earth. At first, we're still close to the ground. The places we know are still recognizable: coastlines, rivers, mountain ranges, cities. We're passing through the troposphere, the lowest layer of the atmosphere. This is where weather happens, where nearly all the air and all the clouds are concentrated. This is where we live, and almost everything that flies. Birds, clouds, thunderstorms, airplanes. A little higher, we enter the stratosphere. This is where airliners fly, taking advantage of the thin air. This region also holds the ozone layer, which absorbs most of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. Without this natural filter, the surface would be far more hostile to life. From this altitude, the horizon begins to curve and the sky slowly grows darker. Above us lies the mesosphere, a zone too high for airplanes and too low for most satellites. In this cold, rarefied layer, many small meteoroids ignite and disintegrate before reaching the ground. The larger ones make it through, reminding us that even for Earth, space is never entirely harmless. Higher still, we enter the thermosphere. Here, under direct sunlight, temperatures can climb extraordinarily high. But there are so few particles that the environment still feels almost like vacuum. It's in this region that the auroras dance, born of charged particles from the solar wind, guided by Earth's magnetic field. And here too begins one of the busiest highways of near-Earth space. Satellite orbits, stations, debris, instruments switched off for years. Among these objects, at about 400 kilometers up, floats the International Space Station, an inhabited outpost where small human crews live and work for months at a time, protected by only a few millimeters of metal, glass, and technology. For a moment, Parallax shares the same band of space. Two fragile islands sliding above the planet, immersed in the same silence. Finally, we begin to slip into the exosphere, the last veil of atmosphere, slowly fading into the true vacuum of space. Below us, Earth's bright, restless surface has become a silent, luminous sphere. We are now in low Earth orbit, a few hundred kilometers above the ground. At this speed, we could circle the planet in about 90 minutes. From here, the world looks strangely calm. On the lit side, clouds trace great white spirals, hiding everything beneath. Continents become shapes on a map. Borders disappear. We cross the line between day and night, the terminator. City lights begin to flicker on. What was once noisy traffic and crowded streets becomes a delicate pattern of glowing threads spreading across the darkened surface. Every point of light down there is a cluster of human lives. People talking, working, worrying, or simply trying to fall asleep. From up here, all of it blends into a silent web of light. No voices, no sound. Just a thin film of air wrapped around a slowly turning sphere. Now we begin to pull away from this orbit. Slowly we lift off from the planet. Every extra kilometer makes Earth a little smaller. Details fade, cities, clouds, oceans collapse into a single luminous disk. At this distance, you can no longer see individual lives. You see a single world, a world with liquid oceans, a protective atmosphere, and a thin film of life on its surface. Everything you are and everyone you know exists on that glowing sphere before you. As we drift farther still, another object slowly enters the frame. The Moon. Our first companion in space, cold, airless, but forever bound to Earth in a silent dance. In the next episode, we'll leave this view behind and follow a path from Earth to the Moon, crossing the empty space between them and looking back at our planet from a new vantage point. From the commander of Parallax, that's all for today. Thank you for traveling with me. See you at the next step of our journey.